You ever had one of those days where everything seems to be falling apart? Your plans are failing, your faith feels shaky, and you start wondering, did I get it wrong? Trust me, you're not alone. We've all been there. But here's the kicker. What if I told you that your faith, your mindset, the way you see yourself and your future could be so bulletproof that even your struggles can't knock you down? Yeah, I said it. Bulletproof faith. And I'm talking about a crazy, wild, unapologetic belief that scares people in the best way possible. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds impossible. I can't even keep my thoughts together on a good day. Well, don't worry. I'm here to tell you that building that kind of mind is not only possible, it's biblical. And I'm not talking about some fairy tale kind of faith. I'm talking about a faith that keeps you standing strong, even when the world is shaking. Let's get real. The core challenge we're facing here is that most people walk around with a faith that's based on what they can see and touch. When everything goes smooth, they're full of faith. But when life hits, boom, they're crushed under the weight of doubt. Sound familiar? But here's the deal. Faith isn't meant to be fragile. It's meant to be like steel, and I'm about to show you how to build that bulletproof mindset with biblical principles. First, let's talk about how we can build this kind of faith. It's actually simpler than you think. And the first step is this. Stop doubting God's ability to move in your life. You know the story of the Israelites, right? They were stuck, they were in bondage, and they were so used to being stuck that they couldn't see the way out. They had the God of the universe on their side, and yet they were too afraid to believe. But here's the thing. God didn't need their permission to show up, and He doesn't need ours either. Faith says, I know the situation looks impossible, but I know who's in control. That's the mindset you need. Second, stop being comfortable. The Bible talks about how God rewards those who trust Him, but you can't trust Him if you're playing it safe. The safest place isn't where you're comfortable, it's where you're leaning on God. Remember Peter walking on water? He had to step out of the boat to see the miracle happen. Your crazy faith might just require you to step out of your comfort zone. Take the leap and trust God to catch you. You can't build bulletproof faith if you're still trying to control everything. And finally, get your mindset right. Philippians 4:8 tells us to think on things that are true, noble, right, pure, lovely, admirable, excellent, and praiseworthy. You've got to feed your mind with that kind of thinking. It's like exercising a muscle. If you only feed yourself negativity, doubt, and fear, that's the muscle you're strengthening. But if you start feeding yourself God's promises, you'll start building that bulletproof mindset. You won't just survive the storms, you'll walk through them unscathed. So here's a simple framework for building that crazy faith. First, refuse to accept defeat. No matter what the world tells you, no matter how big the obstacle seems, God has bigger plans. Next, step out of your comfort zone. That's where the miracle happens. Get out of the boat, even if it means getting your feet wet. Finally, feed your mind with God's truth. What you think about, you become. Fill your mind with what God says about you, not what the world says. And now, here's your action step. This week, I challenge you to step out on faith. Whether that's starting a new project, taking a leap of trust, or simply speaking God's promises over your life every day, take that first step. You don't need the whole map. Just trust that God will show you the way as you go. So if you're ready to stop living with a fragile faith and start walking in a mind so strong it scares the enemy, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment. I want to hear how you're building that bulletproof faith, and if you've already seen some breakthroughs, share them below. Let's keep this momentum going.